Hi, everyone, and welcome back to episode number 70 of the Couch on Ice podcast. I'm your host, Rhylan. Before we get into some hockey news, we got a little bit of rookie all-stars to talk about. Lots and lots of news going around. The trade talks are flying everywhere, every which direction. But before we get into some of that news, let's introduce the boys. I'll throw it over to Jordan. And Jordan, how's it going this week? This is your last week in the States, hey?
Yeah, my last week, and it didn't start very good.
Oh no? How come?
No. Last night I caught my finger in the closet door while it was closing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Always fun times.
And that was the most painful thing I've experienced for a long time. That hurt like a son of a bitch. So I got a nice fucking basically black bust on my fucking finger.
That's okay. I can one up you on bust. It was a long time. It wasn't this week though. But actually, no, I'm not even gonna bring that up. That's way too much for this podcast. But yeah, no, I get it. Pigeon fingers sucks, man. What else are you up to this week while you're in the States?
Pretty much just relaxing, trying to get things in order.
Just getting ready for your. How long is your flight? Because you're flying back, right?
It's an all-day flight, basically. I'm gonna be leaving around 7 or 6, and then I'm gonna get home at 9:30.
Oh, okay. So, are you leaving at 6 p.m. or a.m.?
No, in the morning.
And then get home at 9 a.m. or p.m.
p.m.
p.m. Holy shit! So, how many flights are you taking? Do you have like a layover or two, or what?
Yeah, let's see here. I go from Reno to Seattle, and then I have a 3.5 hour layover in Seattle.
Oof.
Yeah,
That's
and
rough.
then I go from Seattle to Calgary, where I have another 3.5 hour layover, and then Calgary to Regina finally.
Holy crap! That's a day. That'll be a
big day. Yeah.
Holy. Well, hopefully your flights aren't too bad. Do you do well on flights at least? Like, can you handle it?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I don't like the taking off and I don't like the landing, but when I'm in the air, I can at least sleep. So.
Yeah. See, and I'm so good on flights. Like, I just sleep the whole time. Yeah. So every time, pretty much. I just listen to music the whole time. Yeah, music and sleep. That's all, and maybe watch a movie if I'm still awake. But that's about it.
On the flight here, the person in front of me was watching the new Space Jam movie, so I kind of watched that without audio, of course.
Yeah. Oh, I still didn't see it yet either. But no, that's good.
It wasn't good. I didn't.
No, I heard it's bad.
It looked like a big advertisement.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's probably good. I mean, Space Jam 1 was an anomaly in itself to being good, right? So, but no, that's awesome. At least you get to spend your last week in the States and not freezing yet until next week. Then you can freeze your balls off with us.
There's been no snow here, and it's been nice. I'm not looking forward to the couple.
I can't wait for next week when you're just freezing your ass off like the rest of us. But I throw it over to our other host, Chase. Chase, are you flying anywhere hot this week?
Nope, nowhere.
Going nowhere? Fast. Nowhere fast? I'm in the same boat. What did you get up to this week?
Oh, not too much. Watched some football yesterday. It was pretty epic.
What did you think of those games? Like, what do you think of those Bengals, man?
The old Bagels, buddy.
Man, all over Twitter, all I saw was the Bengals are this year's Canadians. That's all I saw all over Twitter.
Yeah, hey, definitely.
But man, there's Joe Burrow, second year in the league, and he's just killing it, knocking off Mahomes.
Yeah,
when's the last Mahomes
shaky,
like 2
shaky in the end there, hey?
Not as bad as Garoppolo. Oh, it sucks so bad. I was praising Garoppolo. Like, I'm not the biggest football fan. I don't know enough to to make a podcast about it, right? But no, like I was saying, like Garoppolo's been really good since leaving New England. Like, seeing how many stats wise, like how many playoff games he's made since, and all that fun stuff, and like then he just fourth quarter just falls apart, and I was like, wow. I was shocked. I understood why people kind of say, oh, maybe this is why they got rid of him.
Well, yeah, they had Tom.
They also had Tom Brady, obviously.
Never gonna get rid of him, and it's amazing what he's even done, just being some random backup and being able to actually become this starting quarterback. Not that I think he's he's not like an amazing.
He's not amazing,
but
he's doing the job.
You don't have
a lot better than Aaron Rodgers statistically, not individual game stat wise, but
yeah, he just needs a little bit more help in his wide receivers, maybe. And I don't know, he's not like the best thrower, but he's a good actual football guy. He knows the game and all that sort of stuff, so he can read defenses, and he's okay in that sense. But yeah, man, no. So it was good. Love watching some football.
For sure. Dog. And then a bit of that Stafford finally getting to that.
Yeah, the old staff. Yeah,
replacing Goff.
Yeah, the old later. Staff.
So interesting Super Bowl this year. All the teams I predicted to go far keep losing. So Bengals were the last team I probably picked. One of the last teams, and the final show.
Always root for the Bengals because they got sick helmets and shit.
I have the most unwarranted hate for the Bengals because of my adolescence, because of me as a 5-year-old, 6-year-old playing a football game on my DS. I always played the Bengals for some reason, it's just how it matched up or whatever, and I was always the Chargers. And I just, for whatever reason, you just pick a team you hate because of whatever. Play them and you hate them, so you hate them. So I just always disliked the Bengals for years for no reason. Had no idea a single play.
Nice.
But I was I hate this team.
they were on the edge of being one of my favorite football team.
Oh yeah,
because I used to like them quite a bit, and because Chad Johnson, now Ochocinco and shit like that.
Right.
He was pretty epic back in the day, and
yeah, absolutely.
AJ Green also was pretty amazing for those guys. So I've always liked the Bengals, but I ended up choosing the old Dolphins.
Sad face.
It's all about the jerseys, buddy.
It's all about it's all about having no faith in your team.
It's not as bad as me. I watched Megatron play and fell in love with him, and now I'm stuck in Detroit.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah, exactly.
Right?
On that too, dude. I'm a
Calvin
fan.
Johnson made me fall in love with him, and now I'm stuck here because he retired.
Yeah, and they've been just rough.
Oh, so good. At least, all I can say is, hey, my team made playoffs, but nothing past that. So I'm not far ahead of you boys. So don't worry.
I was a Wings fan from when I was little. I never did really succumb to any other Detroit franchise. I like them; they're all right.
See, and that's me as a Pens fan.
Never really got into any other or Detroit team because I knew. It's too good to be true. There's only one good franchise.
I like a lot of Detroit franchises. I really like the Michigan State Spartans. I really like
that shit's cool. Hey,
I like the Red Wings.
Yeah, we start getting into college and university teams though. We start getting into that though, cool. And we can go down a rabbit hole for ages. But anyways, let's move back on to being a hockey podcast and not a football podcast or a Detroit podcast. Let's jump into some of our quick rips. Hey boys,
hit it.
I'm gonna throw it to Jordan first. Jordan's gonna start off our quick rips today. What do you got for us, Jordan?
Well, I'll happily start with the return of the Holt Beast, which definitely went in our favor, but
for once this week.
Yeah, for once, finally. We thrashed Dallas 5-0. But it was just a good return. Everybody was happy to see Holtby. Holtby was in good spirits. Not obviously the world's best Holtby performance, but
5 is a little rough, but
Vanacek had a wicked game.
That's good, especially he better, or else he's on Edmonton. So
yeah, exactly right.
But what else you got for us on this game? Any bright spots from a very underwhelming Dallas team? That game at least.
Well, Ottinger was good. He faced 2 shots.
It
was nice to see them represent Zubov. Not a great way to honor him.
That's no kidding. While you're on it, Zubov, they retire as number 56 in Dallas, so that's pretty cool. But
a good game from the Caps. We scored 2 on the power play, which is wicked. Connor McMichael was
McMichael was
fantastic.
I'm so jealous you drafted him. Like, he was such a sleeper for me, like, late in that draft. I'm like, this guy's gonna be so good. Like, I'm such a good second piece guy for top 6. Like, oh my God.
I know. That's how I feel about both him and Hendrik Lapierre. Yeah. I feel like we definitely sniped those two guys perfectly.
Yeah, definitely could use it. So, no, do you got any other quick rip games you go over?
I got one more. That game, if I remember correctly, is the Flyers versus the Kings. The Flyers finally snap their 13-game losing streak, and they win it in overtime, 4-3.
Yeah, that was good. Finally, they're playing a really good Kings team too.
Yeah.
I don't think the Kings lost after that.
No.
A funny 1-2 straight for the Kings. This is the first extra attacker goal they've scored since 2019.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah,
that's a long time.
That's a long time.
It's a really long time.
No, it was a good game from both sides. Both goalies, Quick and Hart, looked good. Cam Atkinson looks fantastic in a Flyers jersey. Kopitar and Victor Arvidsson were on fire for the Kings.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's the Kings.
Yeah, RV's a beast right now.
Yeah. I'll dive into Kings in a bit here too, but like, yeah, they're legit pretty good. What do you guys say about the Flyers other than Cam being Cam, just scoring goals? Anything good to say for, like, other than like they snapped their 13 game, like that's great. Is there any other players
I heard that
say?
Dude, I heard that Atkinson might get traded, so that's
good news that's good news for him. He's a good player, but like, is there anything you're seeing? Yeah, I don't mind Scott Laughton. I mean, for what he does.
Yeah,
just,
I like what he does.
I'm just so disappointed in this team. Every time they're on the ice, they don't try.
Yeah.
They do not try half the time. So, whatever. But anyways, that's what you got for your quick rips there, Jordan?
Yep.
Cool. I'll jump in with some of mine. Chase, if you want to jump in or cut me off, if I'm saying any of yours, just cut me off.
I'll kick you with, like, I just want to say one little thing. I'll be right back to you.
Okay, sounds good.
Just because this was kind of crazy. Like, the circus came to town since our last podcast here. Like, is this so many games going so weird?
Yes. Everyone's getting a chance to win big. Like, Columbus, I swear, either win with 6 goals or lose by 6 goals.
Something like
that. Dallas beating Boston 6-1.
Like the Kings and Wings beat the Pens. The Stars punched the Bruins, and then the Stars got punched in the face, like you said earlier about the Capitals. Like the Jackets beat the Rangers, the Canucks beat the Jets, and then the Jets beat the Blues. Like, it's just a wild few days since our last podcast. It's been
absolutely.
Just like I'm looking for answers here, and all I'm getting is just back and forth big wins and big wins.
The closest answer I think I can give you is this is like we've been saying all year, this is the most even league we've seen in a very long time. The bottom teams aren't as bad as the top teams as they used to be. There's not as big of a gap. Like, everyone knows how to play hockey properly through at least their top 6 lines, and it's usually depth-wise that ruins a team, or goalies.
Yeah, no, it's been a crazy
parity league, man. It's insane. Love it though. I love seeing these crazy games. It's what makes hockey fun. Let me just jump in here quick. I got a bit of a theme, just a couple of teams to talk about. So let's start with the Sabres. And last night they played a bit of that Colorado Avalanche, who is just an absolute wagon as they win 4-1. And should hit you with a little bit of Colorado stats for a second, as this is their 10th straight win and their 18th straight home win for the Avalanche. So that is insane. They're just so good. But the biggest reason I want to talk about this game is for Buffalo and their goaltender, DT, making his return after, 2 months being out with COVID? And, he was really struggling with it. He let in 3, but he had a .914 save percentage, which is still pretty good for missing 2 months of the the season and playing the best team in the NHL. So
my dream came true, buddy. Like they dropped Dell straight up. Dropped
He's on waivers.
Now they both have 2 goalies, and those 2 goalies are Anderson and Tokarski.
And I'm so glad you got to say Anderson, because I was just going to piggyback right into that, or right over into the game before, as Buffalo played Arizona, and they won 3-1. Like you mentioned, Craig Anderson playing his first game since November 2nd, I believe, which is crazy, and gets a 28 save win in his first game back. Just awesome. Peyton Krebs scoring yet again. Tuck proving yet again why he's such a key. Like, that trade has looked so good for Buffalo, even though they gave up Eichel.
Buffalo's definitely winning that trade right now.
Exactly, right?
They were smart about the assets they acquired.
Very.
Absolutely. So, no,
Buffalo's good. That fucking Mitz, man, he got hurt again.
Yeah, I know. That? You just cannot stay healthy, man.
Dude, like, is this a problem with, like, the Buffalo, like, medical staff? Like, remember that Leonard shit? Like, what is going on? You guys are just terrible. Like look at their injuries this year. Well, it's actually been like more double than like most. So
it's funny you bring up Zegras, medical staff a little bit. Yeah, because I got a story that I heard on an interview of a hockey player earlier. That's just insane. I can't believe that this was just normal. Which I'll get into after the games. But
okay. I'll hit you with another thing on the Avs, since we brought them up just earlier. The Avs with 1 3-game losing streak, which came before that was like the 5th game of the year. Yeah,
that's
came before
insane.
the 5th game of the year. So they were out of that. Their 1 3-game losing streak, and they've only had 1 2-game losing streak since.
Wow.
And that was against the Blue Jackets, and one of them was an OT loss.
Yeah, they're the best team in the NHL.
They are.
Yeah, 100%.
By far, like it's not even that close. I got quite a few more games actually to talk about, so just cut me off if you want to, if you guys want to jump in. Gonna hit that Edmonton Montreal game really quick. Don't really want to say much about this, but just more pain for the Canadians as a big loss. Stuart Skinner, as they lost 7-2, to the Oilers. Stuart Skinner started for them, making 23 saves, which is nice. At least a goalie can get you a win. And the biggest news,
quick on that, with the goalie, it's just funny as hell watching anybody else in the net than Koskinen, because they're just fast.
Yeah, I know. Hey,
like if they move quickly, you're like get caught off guard because like, oh my, like I moved. Oh, that's not Koskinen, right? Okay.
Yeah, no,
he's just one of those slow goalies. But.
For sure. But the biggest story of this game, obviously, this came out as we finished the podcast, pretty much like an hour or so later. Vander Kane signed a contract, 1 year, $2.1 million cap hit with the Edmonton Oilers, and scores in his first game a deflection from the slot. So yay, great, already working out for him. So fun times. While we're on Montreal, I just want to talk one moment of a game, and they've had a rough season, but a rough week as they get slaughtered by Edmonton. And Trevor Zegras scores a Michigan goal on Montembeault.
What an absolute
finally, man, he's so good. Like, we knew it was inevitably going to happen. We were just like, when? So, just a rough week for Montembeault, the Canadians.
It's going to get worse when I bring up the injury corner, too. So, if you're a Montreal fan, you might want to not look forward to that.
Exactly. I don't know if this is what you're gonna bring up on the injury corner, but I'm just gonna kind of like tease it. Price says he is progressing and he hopes to play this season. So that's a little bit of a tease if you do have Price. So a little bit of Montreal news there. I got three more games to talk about, and then I'm done. Let's start with a bit of that Wings and Leafs. Biggest reason I want to talk about this game is because Michael Bunting got his first hat trick in this game. The Leafs won 7-4. Instead of giving up a lead, they actually came back in a game for once. So it's nice for Leaf fans to actually feel good about their team. Peter Marazzic gets his first win. I shouldn't say that, his 4th win, but he's back in the net after a long miss. But crazy stat on the Bunting hat trick. This is the first hat trick scored on Hockey Day in Canada for the featured team in Hockey Day in Canada. which is crazy. There's never been another on hockey day in Canada where the Canadian team scored a hat trick, basically, is what I'm saying. So just a cool little stat. And did you want to bring anything up on this, Chase? Because I know this is your wings.
Oh, it was just a circus, and 2 of those goals were empty netters. So
yep, absolutely. And then
no, they scored 5 goals in the third period. Like they just came out guns blazing. It was pretty fun. Like I said, there was just a circus that game.
Yes, it was.
Going on. Other than that, since I don't think we're gonna get deep into that one later. Our secondary team, other than our first line, is just
bad,
horrendous. I think Nicoletti was -4 in that game.
Yeah, he's not good. Hey, like he's really struggling.
Sweet.
Yeah. While we're on the Wings, let's talk about a little bit of good news for the Wings. Let's talk about the Pens and Wings game. The Wings won 3-2 in a shootout. It was just a good battle game, but Casey DeSmith.
You want to know why?
Because we had our backup in.
because the Red Wings scratched Danny DeKeyser.
Oh, did they? I didn't even notice.
Seen us play that competitive in like the last couple
awesome.
weeks or something like that. And
the only thing the Wings didn't do, though, is bring the Smith brothers into the NHL together. I want to see that. I'm waiting.
I think it's happening soon. I think they pulled up Smith. Now that you said that, I'm pretty sure I remember them saying they pulled up Gemmell. So we actually might get to see that soon. The old G. Smith brothers.
That's sweet. That's sweet.
And also, Zadina got off the schneid there, buddy.
Yeah,
he got his goal.
Finally.
I don't even know, 6 years of not getting a goal.
Yeah, and then Gensel scores 2 in that game, like his probably 30th straight goal, knowing him. With how he's playing, he's just been on fire. So
yeah, he seems to light us up. I feel like
don't feel bad. He lights everyone up, man. Like he's our best goal scorer.
Yeah,
like we've had for a long time.
But my boy Lucas ends you guys in the shootout.
Yeah, nice. And then Mo Sider just being a big problem. Get roughing up a little bit with Sid too.
Dude, like the Wings fans on Twitter are just the worst. Holy shit. My God, talk about a bunch of chodes. Like, my goodness, calm down, guys. Like, they're about the whole Zegras. Well, they're just mad about the Zegras thing, saying that people think that Zegras will be the rookie, and they're not discounting the Red Wings. And what do you mean Mo's playing 20-some minutes? Like, they're just all day about it stuff. So, like, they're just, like, tweeting mad, like, just,
I'll give you Wings. Wings fans, want to feel better? Sidney Crosby doesn't have a Calder trophy. Wayne Gretzky doesn't have a Calder trophy. Who else is a very big name who had, like, so many names out there? What are you guys talking? Yeah. Connor McDavid doesn't have one. Like, come on.
They're all sad that they're not getting the match.
Leon Draisaitl doesn't have one.
They're clear-cut favorite. It's like, you could say
not that. Not clear-cut. Like, they're not clear-cut. It's a 3-headed race, and it's close.
It's 4, man. There's somebody we didn't bring up, which I'll bring up later on that.
Interesting. I don't know who I'm forgetting.
Buddy. He's fucking good. But yeah, let's move on. What do you got?
That's it. That's all my quick rips. I'm done with my quick rips.
That's all your quick rips?
That's all my quick rips. All of the quick rips. So I talked about every game.
Good.
See God. Do you got anything for us there, quick rips, Chase, or do you just want to dive into your in-depth game?
I got all the quick rips.
Cool.
All the quick rips. Fiala pots one, sets one up against the Rangers, making it 2 straight multi-point games. Adds an assist against the Isles, and now he has 14 points in his last 11-game point streak, this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Also sticking with the Wild, Mr. Matty Boldy, 7 points.
He's been so 7 good, man. He's been so good.
In January. 8 January games.
Love this kid. He's got a rocket of a shot, too, man. He's going to score 20 to 30 goals in this league. Easily. Maybe even consistent.
Yeah, hey.
He might be a consistent 20, 25 goal scorer.
Well, he's one of those guys that'll know where to be. I might even be an assist off or something here. I think he got a point last night, so it might even be
a little bit more. Yeah, no, he's legit. Love him.
Other than that, the Sharks are showing how important these games are to them. The effort, their last 3 games. They were playing the old Florida road trip. They beat the Caps, but they lost in a shootout or OT or something against the Panthers, and then just lost to the Canes yesterday, 2-1. So, yeah, they're just showing their worth, because this is. I'll get to it in the future. Watch how important these next games are to actually win, like have to win, sort of thing. But other than that, Byfield gets his first dingbat. Nice to see that guy. Looks like a fucking beast. That's what I'm saying. Man. Dingbat.
Yeah. Gets his first goal against the Islanders, which is awesome as a snipe, even though Varlamov could have saved it, but
he looks good, man. He looks really good.
Varlamov or Byfield? I agree on Byfield.
Yeah, Byfield.
Yeah, Byfield's dope. Love Byfield.
900 games for Mr. O'Reilly for the Blues there. Beast. What else do we got? Leafs have had 4-game losing streak after they opened the first 3 games. So they had a 4-game losing streak. Since then, only once have they had a 2-game losing streak.
That's insane.
And it was a back-to-back against the Wild and Jets.
Want to hear something crazier than that? They're 3rd in the Atlantic with those stats that you just rifled.
Hell yeah, man.
That's just it's a joke. It's such a joke right now.
A lot of like how they're giving up these leads, is scary, and it's something I've said that doesn't help when it comes to winning in the playoffs and a Stanley Cup. So they're kind of proving to me that, like, after that first month, like, they've been very good. Like, they have not, like Colorado, not lost more than 2 games in a row or any. Like, it's a well-oiled machine. Other than that, let's hop to the Stars. It has been a month and a half since Pavelski had a 2-game pointless streak, and I'm pretty sure he only has like 1 or 2 before that, and it was like the first month.
Being amazing.
The guy's just
well, we're on the Pav news too. I got a little bit of news with him too. All-Star game stuff. Pavelski was named captain of the Central team, as Kuznetsov and Yossi are to replace Fox and McKinnon on the All-Star for injuries. So yeah, Pavelski's the captain of the Pacific now. So interesting.
Hell yeah.
News on there.
And one last one for you boys. Korpisalo and Boom Jenner carry the Jackets over the Rangers 5-3. Jenner with 2 goals, 2 assists.
Man,
dubbed him an all-star for a reason, eh, boys?
Yeah, man. And Korpisalo, I've said for a while, this guy's a good goalie. Like, I don't know why other teams are just like bypassing hesitant to get him. Like, I think he is one of the best options you could go and get right now, actually. I think you pay what
Kekalainen's asking. I think that's what everybody's scared of.
Yeah, I don't know what he's asking. Obviously, I guess if he's asking like for a lot
or something, at least I would think so.
If it's below a second, you pay it in a heartbeat.
Like if I'm Edmonton,
a second,
I'd
honestly pay a second
and a second.
Yeah, I would consider that too for him. Like, he's a good goalie. You gotta give someone a chance that isn't named Mikko Koskinen. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and the thing about these types of goalies when they're in these situations, you should be trading for them. And if you have the ability to play this guy, it only makes these goalies better and only gives them a chance to be better. So,
yeah, exactly, right? Like, when is like a goalie who still develops in their mid-20s and to late 20s?
Yeah,
like how is it not good for them to play tons of games?
Is this the best development? Is this the best development for Chris Drieger? Probably not. He could have probably been playing half and half with somebody instead of.
I'm all on that train.
I'm sort of those sort of guys.
Yeah, I'm all on the Drieger train for Edmonton. Actually, like, that just fits. He's got term. Needs to play. He's a good goalie. But
a guy you wouldn't be scared to let Skinner kind of beat out if he could do it.
Exactly, right? Like, a guy you're comfortable moving on from later, but is better than what you got now. So, anyways, that's all you got for your quick rips there, Chase?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to throw it back to Jordan then, and he can go with his one in-depth game. So 3 more games to talk about, and then we'll get into some more interesting news.
Yeah, one of the worst games I've watched this year. It is the Flames versus Canucks. The Flames win it 1-0 in overtime.
Oh, yeah, dude, it was 2 shots halfway through the game for Vancouver or something like that.
Were they both Brock Besser because all he needs to do is shoot?
Oh, man.
Oh, man. That's insane.
I tried to rewatch that game, and I missed half of it because I wasn't paying attention half the time. It was literally...
Because nothing was happening.
Calgary was the only one that could make anything happen. And they weren't great shots.
Vancouver had 3 power plays. You want to know how many shots they had on them?
1.
None.
What?
Not a single shot on their
That's impossible. That's impossible. How are you an NHL? I guarantee you I could replace one of those guys and I get a clean shot on that. Right, that's ridiculous. Like I don't think it's going to be a good shot, but I guarantee you could get at least a shot off. Like in 3 power plays. That's insane.
Vancouver only had 1 shot 5 minutes into the second period. And I think they finished the second with 8 or 9 shots.
Wow. I'm baffled because, what's crazy? They did that and they still almost won the game. They literally played a Pee-wee team for the first half of the game.
Yeah.
And almost won. I'm disappointed in Calgary more for not taking advantage.
Now, I'm not going to lie. The Flames did not get that great of opportunity. They did get more opportunities. Obviously, they got shots, but I didn't think they were super high danger. And Demko was making the save. He read the Demko play when they did make the good play and get it out front in a good spot. So it was more Demko kind of saving their ass every once in a while. But other than that, if you take away those chances, like you guys said, this is what nothing was going on. Nobody was really doing anything.
Yeah.
Nobody could make any sort of pressure, not even hardly the Flames. It's the Flames kind of just hung out that game in a sense.
That's my criticism to the Flames is the
point
though is you could throw out Arizona playing how they've been playing, let's say Arizona the past week, let's say they play that game. I bet Arizona beats Vancouver.
Yeah, it's understandable that the Flames dried up with goal scoring.
They need to
scored 7 goals 3 games in a row or something like that, and then went to the Blues and lost, I think, last time. So kind of understandable that they lost a little bit of their goal scoring.
That's
but
that is
still disappointing.
That is a momentum builder. Those games to get you in a streak. That's a game where you're we can absolutely demolish this team, even if you only win 3-0, but you have 40 shots and they have 10. How do you think that team's gonna feel after? Not great. You're gonna feel amazing. So,
you guys
see
that Myers hit?
Yes, I did.
Meyer hit.
Yeah, he was ejected. That's a
little revengeful.
That's a bit of I feel bad. It was a hit to the head, obviously, it's clear as day. But that's because Tyler Myers is a literal giant.
Yeah. And Trevor Lewis can't grab the puck.
I think it was
puck on your stick.
Someone measured. It's 6 or 7 inch difference in height.
For sure.
He's probably gonna his head.
Ejection was necessary, but certainly a penalty should have been awarded as it was.
Was he wasn't suspended? There's been no news on that.
He was kicked out.
You just kicked out, no suspension. Okay, that's okay. I'm okay with the ejection if they don't suspend him, but I was hearing people Kevin BX was even that's a suspension. I'm yeah, but you gotta take the height discrepancy into consideration.
Yeah,
he's 6'7" or whatever.
Yeah,
6'6". He's so tall.
Head. That's just
Trevor Lewis is
he was
6'1", 6 foot. He's not that big.
He was frustrated from Lewis punching him in the face accidentally before, where he should have technically got a penalty, and the whistle would have blew before he hit him, but. He should have noticed that Lewis was fumbling with the puck or just can't handle the puck, but he was going in to hit him.
He was hitting him.
Lewis was oh shit,
and kind of ducked a bit.
I think that's what you get. I don't know if you need a suspension, because he was kicked out.
Yeah, that's exactly kind of if you give him a penalty, I guess just to make it clear, I don't care. Yeah, it was the right call. It was head contact. I understand it, even if it's an accident, it's head contact. Unless you're completely looking the other direction and run into someone, you're gonna get kicked out.
That's the original hit. That's the OG hit that started this whole thing. That big guy just hitting that small guy. And
yep.
they'd suspend him for a game because it wasn't a penalty. But like, I don't think that's necessary.
No, I think it's changing a bit more. So.
With him getting kicked out, at least if you call that, they're probably not gonna suspend you, and if they do, it'll be like a game. So.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, Jordan, do you have anything else on this game? Any players you want to shout out or anything other than Demko?
Yeah, obviously Demko. I mean, Markstrom with his 7th shutout of the season.
Didn't need to do much then again, too.
Although Gaudreau was very good in overtime, he was at the entirety of regulars.
Yeah, that's not going to be acceptable in the playoff time.
Obviously, this game was ass. So I'm not going to hold it to just him.
Absolutely. Now, interesting enough, since you said this is the worst game you ever watched, who were the 2 worst players on each team in that game? In those 60 minutes, who did you look at and say, you suck tonight?
I mean, because I expect so much, I will say Johnny Gaudreau. Like, other than that overtime winner, he was genuinely just invisible.
Yeah. How about on Canucks side?
On the Nucks side, JT Miller, although I think he's definitely their best performing player this season, he was not good tonight.
Fair enough. I mean, that doesn't help when your heart is and soul's kind of not running around playing well.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say necessarily they're the absolute worst players, but I expect more from them.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, with no goals, that's pretty disappointing. You gotta usually like we were saying, like there's just no offense created, and when there was, it was easy to read. Like it was
in the overtime.
Those are the guys that do that. So
in the overtime, he dropped his stick after a hooking penalty. And then he coasted for a while and watched the 3-on-2 from the fucking flame zone.
Yeah, not great. Definitely not. Exactly like you said.
I'll say one thing about old Johnny and Tkachuk though. They are gaining some crazy stats. Like their CF percentage is like really some of the tops in the league. Like Tkachuk's at a 60%, which is right around like Bergeron and Marchand.
He's having
and Johnny Hockey's
right.
Year. Yeah, Johnny Hockey's right underneath him with like 58.
He's also having a great year.
Johnny's trying to push for that
contract.
He could even push for that too, because I don't know. Yeah. He's actually somewhat up there. So nice to see. I love when these guys are doing good because they're so fun to watch, man.
No, absolutely. Also, while you have talking about Johnny, there's not. This is like take this as a grain of salt. This is not true at all, but. A lot of people saying Gaudreau, if he doesn't sign in Calgary, that the Flyers are a team to watch. So, just keep an eye on that.
No, I'd be going to the fucking Devils. There's no way if I was him, I'd be unless there's like sentimental value and
Flyers
to be a Flyer. I know he's from the area, but
if he wants the money,
I'd be going.
They will pay it. That's a team that will pay him. They have blank checkbooks right now, right?
Shit.
That's why I'm saying.
You want to not win, for sure.
What is good? But that's the question that we always ask with players. Like, what do you prefer getting the extra $1 million, or do you want to try and win a cup? So just a team to throw in the mix. It sounds crazy, but it makes sense. Like you said, he's from there, around there. Yeah. So. Anyways,
I wish he'd go to the Devils, man. He'd be good on that team. If he's gonna leave, man, I want him to go on a team that's gonna at least get better.
No, I agree.
Push for a cup. I'm scared of what happens. Like we've seen the Flyers be this team for flipping 10 years now. Like who knows what's gonna happen?
Average, absolutely. Anyways, I'm gonna jump in quick with my game, and I want to talk about the Pens Kings game last night because this was one of the most enjoyable games. Even though we lost, I've ever watched this year. I watched this year with the Pens. So the Pens lose 4-3 in regulation, but it was a very hard-fought game. Second period, man, LA was just all over us, taking advantage of any mistake we made in the defensive zone, scoring everything. Trevor Moore was everywhere on the ice. He was so good and had such a good shot. Just killing us.
Not bring him up now.
No, man, he's amazing for this team. Like He's such a good third line winger. Like, he just goes and scores, and he looks more talented than he is. That sounds like a slouch.
Yeah, man. Like, I'll say
he looks so good.
Over. This bottom depth, these depth players this team has are the best depth players in the league, man.
Absolutely.
Just
unreal. Brian Rust scoring 2 goals. We got back in this game. We deserve to lose this because Brian Rust's second goal was the craziest thing ever to happen. So LA had like a 2-on-1 sort of situation in our zone. Jarry dove across, made a brilliant empty net save, and Batherson just shoots the puck down the ice. Well, LA was in the middle of a change, and he hit an LA player, and they didn't change fast enough, and they got a penalty from that. So they were inch away from scoring to 5 seconds later, a penalty, and Brian Rust tied the game at 3, 5 seconds after the penalty was called. So just super unlucky from LA. They ended up winning, so it's not a big deal.
Somebody too.
Yeah, exactly.
Super lucky goal.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, it was just a great game. I had so much fun watching. Jarry was fantastic. I'm terrified if Jarry stops playing like this, because this is the best actually I think I've ever seen a Penguins goalie play. If not since like one of Fleury's magical years that he had, or maybe Matt Murray's like playoff run or something, like one of those two. That's it. Like all I can think of is 2009 Fleury or like 2016 Murray. Those are the only two I can think of that would be better than Jarry.
And those were all like a few months basically.
And we won the cup. And there were a few months, and we won the cup both times.
The playoffs, it was like just doing nuts for like 2-3 months in the playoffs.
Exactly.
Or going in.
So no, I'm a little worried that he does tail off, that we're gonna get upset in our playoffs. So we really need to back up. We really need a backup to start resting.
What do you mean? DeSmith, unreal save against the Wings. He looked pretty good the last 2 games.
He was okay.
So we'll see.
I want someone to play more games. I want someone where we're like, we trust.
Yeah, like exactly.
We don't trust the backup. It's nothing wrong with DeSmith. It's
timing with him. He only wins and plays good with random timing. He's not, and he's going to be this guy.
We need a consistent backup. Honestly, we need a guy who can take games away from Jarry, so he's more in fit. So other than that, and then Drew Doughty obviously scoring in this game as well, which was awesome. He had a great game, played his 1,000th game this week, so silver stick for him. So nothing but great things saying about LA and this game. It was just fun to watch.
Holy shit, Sean Dursey played 20 minutes. I remember watching that. No, he's all over the ice, man.
Getting so much chances, man. Like, I love it. He's
3 minutes on the power play. Like, 10 more seconds than Doughty, surpassing Doughty.
Imagine surpassing Doughty in your rookie season. Wow.
Just taking over his power play duties or something.
Yeah, well, he's working on it, so good. No. Love the game. Chase, do you have a game to talk about?
Oh, yeah, sure. I can talk about a game, I guess. Talk about the Stars and the Bruins, because the Stars... Actually, Sagan came out to play, and Alexander Radulov got his second goal of the year.
No way!
Ooh, buddy.
I watched him score like a couple weeks ago too, like not long ago. He scored and he had the biggest celly, and I'm like, that's just a Radulov scoring. I didn't know they usually scored 2.
But it's not good for old Rad. I wonder what they're gonna do with.
I want them to trade him. I would like, for his sake. I want to see him on a team to play like third line minutes and just go on a run.
Like come help the Wings. Like if you could give him for cheap, man. God, would the Wings take him right now for just no reason whatsoever? But they won't give him up cheap, and that's probably why he's still there. And they're probably reluctant on money. Who knows? Who knows with that? With those guys, they're all up in the air with Klingberg, so that's kind of confusing.
Know. There's a lot of issues on everything, so there. But anyways, continue.
This was a game where the Bruins just got beat basically. They've been kind of up and down ever since. They had like a good stretch there.
Olmark's pretty up and down. We talked about him last week.
Yeah. He got a little bit of the nasty treatment this game, but got pulled halfway through. But whatever, it is what it is. When I guess Tyler Sagan decides to show up, as he got like 3 points in this game.
Still mad at the Bruins for trading him for being 21 and having fun.
Yeah. Him and Marchand are still doing the who goes off the ice last.
Yeah. There's only a couple players in the league that do it. Sagan's the best with it. He's always Scheifele too. Scheifele's pretty good.
Yeah, clearly they have been doing that for like ever. Old Marchand and Sagan, like when they played.
Like 3 different clips of him and Marchand doing it.
Oh yeah,
they're fun.
Yeah, they're so great.
But I definitely understand it. I get superstition, especially in sports.
And if you're both going to be like that, then you both have to be off at the same time. Then that's just how it is. It's just like nobody wins. But yeah, no, like I said, Boston Bruins up and down. I like the way that Oscar Steen's playing. He brings a little bit of extra speed to this lineup that they need. DeBrusk's been looking pretty good, honestly. I wonder once again what happens with this, if they do the fake everything's okay, or if they actually end up trading him.
No,
because it needs to happen like soon here, guys. Like
I think he's done. I think that's the difference this time, is he's done. The other times I think it's always the Bruins saying, we want this player gone, we want this player gone, he doesn't fit, we want him gone. And then they say, then he starts playing good, and they're like, well, we'll keep him because he wants to be here anyways. But now
it seems like
it's been a long time. This has been a long time coming.
Yeah, no doubt. Another guy on the Bruins is Juho Vakanainen. Oh, buddy, he's been playing lots of minutes. He's fun to watch out there. Nothing like spectacular, but nice to see him getting playing time. Lots of playing time. Interested to see
the good old Zaboral, even though Zaboral's hurt, but.
Yeah, interested to see exactly where they go with this defense. I hear them rumored in some Chychrun trades, so that'd be pretty cool if they went balls deep for old Bergeron's sake and everybody.
A little bit of tease for next week.
The old Glenn Denning gets a 6 goals. 6 goals, Glenn Denning.
Nice. Winning faceoffs and scoring goals. It's just what it is. And being right-handed.
Yeah, 100% face-off percentage that game.
I wonder how much I could get for an NHL contract because I shoot right. Sorry, go on. I was just thinking about that.
Me too, buddy.
They always pay up the ass. I'll pay for $750K.
I can't on your team, but I shoot right and I hit good.
Yeah, if you're strong and you can win face-offs right-handed, you're an asset, buddy. You're an asset.
I'll play defense, play right-handed. I'm just chipping on the boards. No, anyway, sorry, that was a completely random tangent I threw out there, but go on.
No, it's fine. That's basically all I got. Ottinger played in that game. He looked great.
He's so good. I'm so excited for him to be that goalie of the future of this team. Like, that's where it starts. Is like, if you have a young goalie that you trust, like that's you know you got a chance of making a good competitive team for the next 5-8 years. So really like.
Yeah, they just can't seem to get consistent goaltending out of their goalies. It's either they play good or they don't. So
a washed up Holtby and a very young Ottinger, like, you're gonna get that.
I like to say it as trying to find himself again, Holtby and young.
Sure. You can paint it however you would like.
Paint it with colors
but a spade's a spade. I love Holtby. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm looking at Holtby like he would look good in a Pens jersey as a backup. But, like, don't get me wrong.
I think he's perfect.
18.
I think he's perfect for a backup, and somebody will pay a decently high price for that backup. And I think that's what Dallas is looking for.
For a backup? Yep.
No, not just money, but like a draft pick. I think.
I'm
assuming that's what they're looking for. Yeah, I don't know what they should probably trade one of these guys at some point. I don't know what the hell's going on there.
Which, like, one as in like
Holtby
or Holtby?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, indeed. But that's all I got for these guys here.
Cool. Is it okay if I throw it right back to you for the future watch, or do you need a minute?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I can.
Cool.
Yeah, sure.
Well, now that we're done we're done our in-depth review, so let's get into our next segment, our Future Watch segment. Chase, you're doing the schedule Future Watch again?
Yeah. So
cool. What teams you got for us today?
Well, this edition of Future Watch, I will be looking at a Pacific schedule, as in the Pacific Division schedule. So basically how they all stack up. We'll be looking at every team other than the two expansion teams in the Pacific. Everybody's obviously in the playoff race, going nuts. First off, I'm just going to go through a little difficulty ranking I created for the February schedule, as now we have our new schedule, and we can take a look and see how these teams, what they got in front of them. So I'll just give you a quick list of the 6 here. Oilers ranking as the hardest schedule. Got the Sharks in second, and I got the Canucks third, Calgary, the Ducks, and then the Kings with the more or less much easier schedule.
And
not really.
Can I cut you off for a second, Craig? Really. Just with that list, that is the biggest problem in the world for the top 4 teams you just listed, because the teams that have the easier schedule are already in a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's worth noting that, like, if you haven't already, Anaheim and LA in a playoff spot. So that's just, I just want to throw that out there. Like, Edmonton, like, I understand what you're saying. Like, yeah.
No, this is really gut check time. Like I said earlier about San Jose, like, this time to go. That's why I put them up. But I'll get into number 1 hardest schedule, the Edmonton Oilers.
The Evander Oilers.
As they have the most games to play in February out of these 6. They start off the month with the Capitals and Knights. Then they finish off the month with the good old Florida road trip. Canes, Lightning, and Panthers. And let's add a little bit of Minnesota in there, and that's half of their games played against my projected top 10 teams in the league. So,
wow.
Good times this month there, Oilers. Another note on the Oilers schedule in February, 4 division games, and gather yourself, 4 back-to-back sets in February. You better get a goalie soon.
Holy. In one month, 4?
Yeah, so these back-to-back sets are the Golden Knights and the Blackhawks. So that's not too bad.
Better than the other way around, but
yeah, San Jose and then LA. So that's not really great, because those are division games, and every division game is going to be terribly hard,
and LA whether you like it or not. Yeah, LA is going to be hard off a back-to-back.
Yeah, unless they just fall apart in the next week or two, that could be a loss almost, because of the way they're playing right now, right?
Do they have a back-to-back there around that time, too?
I couldn't tell you, honestly. I don't know.
That's fine. I didn't know if you had them or not, so continue. What else do we got?
Anyways, Winnipeg and Minnesota is the other one.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then the next one is Florida and Carolina, dude.
Oh my God. Way to end it on a high note, Chase. Oh, that sounds like hell.
Yeah,
holy
like
crap.
That's in order, guys. Like,
my spine's tingling.
It only gets harder. So, not only do they have tough games outside their division, but they have 4 division games to worry about. I smell playoff hockey. But, hey.
I know why Tippett got Kane now. He looked at the schedule and said, fuck. We need someone who can score that isn't named Connor or Leon.
Yeah, they're going to need the help. They need the depth.
Oh, my
bad.
God.
But, yeah, hey, McD. Really gonna need that 2-point per game McD in February.
Yeah,
really gonna need that.
Honestly, if Leon and him aren't on like that 2 points per game pace throughout that month, I think they're
the only the saving grace for Edmonton here is their .001 points percentage away from Los Angeles. They're technically in a playoff spot. I would just say they're tied with Anaheim, LA, and Edmonton are tied right now for the 3rd spot in the division. So it's just, not an easy schedule to go over 500, which is what they are. So Anyways, let's move to the second worst, I guess, schedule you could say, ranking second with only 8 games to play, the San Jose Sharks. Hard to believe they are second on this list as they just finished the Florida road trip.
Yeah, that sucks for San Jose.
But the reason I have them here is simple. Where they are in the standings right now, they have to go 500, like over 500, sorry. Honestly, probably need to win 6 of these 8 games in February to even give them a chance of climbing back into the race. And it starts today.
The West is so tight. Like they're gonna eventually, one team will eventually squeeze themselves off. So.
Mm-hmm. And I'll get there, buddy. It starts with the Lightning, who recently just beat them like 7-1. So they play the Lightning today. So if you're listening, you're probably like laughing about them getting smashed again. But yeah, after that Lightning game, they get a 12-day break before they play 4 straight division games. First against the Oilers, then the Canucks, the Golden Knights, and then the Ducks. So huge, tough first 5 games of the schedule. I don't know, Lightning, Oilers, Canucks, Knights, Ducks. Are they going to win any of those games?
They'll win one. They'll win one.
You almost have to beat the Canucks and squeeze one off past these guys. Basically, their next 3 games are the Islanders, Bruins, and Kraken. So say they win those 3 games, well, you're winning 3 of these 5 games against the Lightning, Oilers, Canucks, Knights, and Ducks, just to get 6 wins out of 8, just to get yourself maybe back in it. Because you're at a .522 points percentage, which is just not great. You have your games played are just the same as all these other guys in your division when it comes to LA and Anaheim. So like wins are key. Like that's why I have them number 2. They may not be the hardest games here, but there's a couple decently hard games and they're not very many. And if like the only saving grace these guys have for the Sharks is they have 20 division games left, 5 of them this month. So if they go super good in their division and light up their division, I think they can make the playoffs. Honestly, they could because of that. But yeah, right. The Sharks are screwed. If you need any insurance on that, sorry.
No, there's 4 teams that are gonna miss playoffs that are like, you're gonna be like, that's 5 teams that if they miss playoffs, you're gonna be like, wow,
that sucks. But the next I got here is the Canucks with the 3rd toughest schedule, based off their predicament, which is in worse shape than the Sharks. Out of their 10 games, only 10 games, 6 are winnable, but 3 are against the Isles, Sharks, and Ducks. Those 6 winnable games I have, who probably they're not going to give you those games. Like I said, division games, Sharks and Ducks, and the Isles are looking a lot better. You never know which Isles team you're going to get. They're now hard to beat again. Whether they're going to win and beat you, but like they're going to make it hard on you.
Give me a long night.
Yeah, but if the Nucks can get it going again under Boudreau, which they have gotten points in their last 3 games, getting 6 wins out of these 10, or at least getting 5 and a couple OTs or something like that, losses, I don't. It should be a done deal. Like either way, they're surpassing the Sharks by the end of February is a Peter Chow guarantee. If you want a Peter Chow guarantee, do you guys know what Peter Chow is, dude?
Say again.
Peter Chow. Do you know what a Peter Chow guarantee is?
What is a Peter Chow?
It's a done deal, baby. It's a done deal. Fuck, dude. It's the funniest shit on earth. Talk to you guys later about it or something. But let's get to the bottom half here of the tougher schedules. We'll start with Calgary. Flames I have ranked 4th for February schedule difficulty. Out of 11 games, 8 are at home. And there's a 7-game homestand in there. So Johnny Gaudreau lights it up at home. So that's all you need to know there. Only 15 games played all year at home. And they're clearly stoked for those home games as they pump the Panthers and Blues at home recently. Not sure. Yeah, right. I already said Goudreau and good at home. He's like, that's one thing I know about the guy. He's always lights it up at home, seemingly. I don't know if it's been like that the last year or this year exactly. I haven't looked into this year, but technically only 4 playoff teams to play out of the 12. So could almost give Calgary the best schedule, but it's still a decent amount of games.
Yep.
So let's get to the second last one with the Ducks. Doesn't sound easy at all, but it is only 7 games, so they don't play till like February 11th. Like they don't even play a game till, I think it's the 11th. So they only have 7 games this month. 6 of them being division games. So the Ducks get to play 6 division games. So talk about who is holding all the cards in how the Pacific is going to play out this month. The Islanders are the only other non-division team. So big games for the Ducks here. Like I said, it's going to be weird. They're going to have to make sure they're ready to go after a long break, just like LA and just like San Jose. They both have 12-day breaks and stuff. And then it just gets a little bit deeper. Like I'll give you Anaheim, March 14 games, and in March, April 13 games. LA plays 16 games in March and 12 in April. So March and April are the stacked up ones. It seems like everybody's playing a good 14 games at least around those in those last 2 months. So she'll be a busy last 2 months, which is going to be fun. Now to the easiest schedule. Team that I'm starting to feel pretty positive about, like we've been saying, the Kings just rolling. Only 8 games in February. Like their Cali buds, they get that 12-day break. The only reason I gave the Kings the easiest schedule is because of the Ducks playing 6 division games out of their 7, which seems quite difficult. And looking back, the Kings staying in a lot of games you think they wouldn't. First example, their 4 road OT losses are against the Lightning, Rangers, Jets, and Stars. Nice. So just some teams that probably shouldn't be staying in the games with, especially the Lightning and Rangers, but
for sure.
Proving they're competitive. The other example is 7 games lost by 3 or more this year, but even though with like 9 wins by 3 or more, compare that to like the Sharks. They've
and
like
keep in mind they were bad without Doughty. They were really bad without Drew Doughty for a bit.
Yeah, they squeezed out of that pretty good with a pretty decent record actually.
Yeah,
so
and that's when we were like, people were starting like, this team's already fallen, they're done, and like, nope, Doughty came back and they're rolling again.
Yeah. So
sorry. Yeah.
No, it's fine. Where the hell was I here? 9 wins by 3 or more, and what was it? 7 games lost by 3 or more for the Kings. And the Sharks had like 12 games lost by 3 or more. So like, just trying to prove that the Sharks are just super, super fucking screwed here. They're like that schedule.
No, I 100% agree. I 100% agree with you.
I like how Edmonton's been playing. It's like super tough schedule, but it's almost what they need to wake some of these guys up. Evander Kane is going to need to help them a lot. That's for sure. Like I said, they're really going to need McD to step up and get them through this month because this is going to be a doozy. That's for sure. It's kind of, I'm scared for these California teams because they have that random break. I'm not sure how they come back off of that.
Yeah.
Anaheim at least gets to play Seattle when they first come back. Maybe that's a good thing. Start off with like a not great team, but LA and San Jose start off with Edmonton.
That was the most generous way to explain Seattle season I've ever heard. A not so great team. I would be smiling ear to fucking ear if I was Dave Hackstall and heard that. I'm like, think we're that good?
He still says the exact, like everybody still says the exact same shit in those interviews. It's sad. They're just pretending like nothing's happening.
They suck.
Other
unfortunately.
Notes, I'll give you some super future watch. Anaheim 5 home games in April, so that's a little worrisome. Same with LA. only playing 5 home games in April out of 12 and 13 games. So that's not something you want to see at the end of the season.
No, especially when Anaheim's away record is 10-9-4. LA's a 10-6-5, which isn't that bad actually. But funny enough, LA seems to be better away than they are at home, but they're pretty consistent.
Yeah, funny, huh?
They're pretty consistent, but Anaheim definitely takes advantage of those home games.
Yeah, no doubt.
The California fans go crazy. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that all you got for your scheduling in the Pacific?
Yeah, basically. I'm sure I could bring up a few other things, but I could always bring those up in due time or some other time in all reality. So, that's about what I got. Like I said, it's
so keeping your eyes on the Edmonton Oilers and San Jose Sharks. Those are 2 teams you're like, I'd watch them and be cautious.
We'll figure out basically everything we need to know in the next few games.
Absolutely, but those are your 2.
For San Jose, like they'll probably going to fall out. Like I said, Vancouver is going to hop above San Jose by the end of the month. And other than that, Calgary's set. They have lots of home games. Don't worry about them. They should definitely make the playoffs here. I'll just take a look. Lots of games, though. 16 games in March, 19 or 15 in April for Calgary, so a little bit more than some of the other teams. But, dude, I don't think Vancouver can come back, but they could have a big February and be right back in the mix.
Yep, for sure.
Other than that, like LA and Anaheim, they have to make sure they win these games because they have 7 games, Anaheim, and 8 games, LA. Like you're gonna have to almost be perfect.
Yeah, or at least go like 6-2 or
at
something.
Least 500, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, absolutely, Jordan.
Sorry for the elongated.
No, that's okay.
Watch, but that gives you a good look at.
It's important to follow
what we're about to see. You know,
like it's super important. Like this division is, if you're not paying attention to it, then question how much of a hockey fan you are. Honestly, like it's the closest playoff fight there is, and there's so many teams in the mix. So it's
and the one thing I'd like to contrast is the fact that we have like a good group of good teams in the West, and we have 8 really good teams in the East. And then there's like the Detroit I would almost put in there, and the Islanders. Detroit, they could be part of that Western group of just a bunch of good teams. So it's nice to see that the whole West is technically better than like the whole bottom half of the East than the 2 teams I mentioned.
That's true.
Yeah.
But Jordan, did you want to give your future watch now?
Yeah. Mine is gonna take on the Trevor Zegras goal.
Interesting.
So we've heard obviously earlier in the year when he had his Michigan assist, we heard
Michigan.
The dish again.
It's the best name of all time for it, man.
That's legendary. I haven't heard that yet.
Oh, you haven't heard that? Really? Oh, no. Yeah. That's been out there for a bit. The dish again.
The old dish again. It's nice.
But we obviously heard people's opinions on that, and some people don't like that skilled player being in the game.
Yeah, and, Torts.
Yeah, exactly. Torts is a great example of that, right? Some people don't like it, and my future watch is that I love it, and I think it's growing the game. Specifically Trevor Zegras, he's obviously been a massive figure in hockey this season with all of his fancy plays. He's always on TV, especially if you're a California fan.
Well, he's trying stuff, you know. He's one of the few guys that like goes out on a shift and kind of makes things up as he goes, you know, like, oh, this might work or whatever. So it's nice to see creativity just actually trying to be used instead of like he doesn't do everything perfectly all the time and kind of maybe does it unsensibly sometimes, but you can get better and better at it. And if you're doing dumb shit like that, like what if he just makes normal moves and this is gonna blow past you or something, you know? So him finding that balance between that, no doubt, it's the future.
He's grown the sport of hockey more than anyone this season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. With all the millions of views with all of his plays, getting younger fans into the game. Like, I understand where Tortorella's coming from, where he's trying to say, like, I want there to be a physical element in the game, too.
Yeah,
like, if you just say that. Like, I agree. Hitting should still be in the game. Like, fighting should still be in the game.
Some of my favorite part.
Exactly. Like, that's
still... why I like Tom Wilson.
Yeah, exactly. It's an important part of the game. But just because someone can score a super fancy goal doesn't mean you shouldn't have those things. Right, just because receivers in football catch the ball one-handed, like with a spin move, doesn't mean you can't have linemen that are 300 pounds and still hitting.
Right.
It's two completely different roles and positions. Like, why are we arguing
people used to complain about Patrick Kane when he would pull out the fantastical
stuff.
People
complain about Crosby when he first came in with some of the stuff he was doing. And Crosby, like, look at him now, is, like, pretty... I know if you're, like, interested in hockey, it's not boring, but, like, he doesn't do fancy stuff. He just plays the game better.
Yeah, he's...
Right? Like, and people used to complain about those moves he would do and the way he skated and stuff. So, I don't know. People don't always complain. I think it's wrong. I agree with you.
I think it's fantastic for the sport, and I think it's only going to grow it more and more.
Absolutely. 100% agree with that. No. I love that, and I'm excited to see some of these other young kids who are super talented.
Yeah, exactly, right? Kids that see, oh shit, you can be a rookie and do fucking cool shit.
I'm excited to see what Kent Johnson's gonna do in the NHL as one player to put in mind. Perfetti's pretty silky too. Like, I really like him. Like, there's a lot of guys out there I'm really intrigued in. So, but anyways, is that what you got for your future watch?
Yeah,
Jordan?
That's what I got.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna jump into mine quick, and mine is a Penguins one. Sorry for the theme today. I've been just really happy with how we're playing and good news around. But it's about Sidney Crosby as watch for tomorrow's game against the Capitals, February 1st. If you don't know, is Sidney Crosby is only 2 goals away from scoring his 500 career goals, which is second among Penguins. And
not even 600 yet, eh?
No, not 600 yet, unfortunately. But getting 500 is still pretty insane. 2 more goals away. Yeah. Hopefully, if he can do it against the Caps in front of OV and we win, like OT winning goal, that'd be like the best thing of the year. I'd be so happy.
Oh yeah,
that'd be like my favorite thing.
Awesome.
That would be like, I would rip you all podcast, Jordan. If that happens, if Crosby gets 2 goals against you and Pens win, I'm gonna rip you the whole pod about it. So I'm just excited about that. The biggest downside is this: if he doesn't get it in the 2 games again, or the 2 goals in the Caps game, he has to wait till after the All-Star game. So I know, like, poor Crosby, but like
that could shake it, and we could be waiting months.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh no, might wait an extra game or 2 because of that. But no, just wanted to throw that out there. He's super cool.
No, that'll be a good game. The old classic Washington-Pittsburgh game. Yeah, my God, are those games good.
Battle of the Titans.
And these two are having, like, insane years for their ages. Like, Crosby coming off an injury and still putting up the numbers and playing the way he is, and OV being an MVP contender. Like, it's going to be one of the better games we've seen over the Crosby OV era, I hope. So I just wanted to feature watch that for tomorrow's game.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure.
So absolutely. Well, now that's our future watch segment. I'm going to jump into a bit of news around the league. So guys, just jump in when you feel need. If there's a team you want to talk about specifically, I can't speak.
Pacifically.
Yeah. I'm going to start calling Pacifically because it's easier.
It's the NHL, so we'll just call it the Pacific.
Yeah, the Pacific team that you want to talk about, just go for it, okay? So, let's start with the New York Rangers as they retire Henrik Lundqvist, number 30, the other night against Dallas.
King gets retired in Madison Square Garden. I love it.
Yeah, and he jinxed his team by saying, I think he said something along the lines of Zook wasn't going to score or something like that, and then he scored to tie the game. Funny enough, so... Just wanted to, and he went on a couple interviews and stuff, and he's super honored. Like, everyone, I love Hank. Like, I miss him in the game so much. I hate that he had to retire early with that heart condition.
Me too, man. I wish I could have seen him play in a Caps jersey.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. But we probably wouldn't have Vitek Vanacek the way he is now if that happens, right? So, gotta take the good with the bad, but no.
That's just a good point.
Hats off to Hank's career. Well-deserved to retire.
One of the most humble players ever.
Oh, yeah. One of the best goalies of top 5 all-time,
yeah,
Hank?
Certainly.
Is that
certainly.
Chase? Is that maybe top 10?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
5?
Sure. Easily
10?
top 10.
Easily top 10, sure. But is top 5?
There's technically a lot of goalies, but in recent memory, in the last 20 years, he's for surely I would say probably the best, because I don't know who else has been that good that consistently other
Broder, based on early 2000s, if you want to go that late.
Yeah,
so
true.
That's technically
How
20
long has Broder been
90s, 2000s. Well, Broder played in the Cup final in 2012, so 2014, I think.
So crazy how recent
Broder
that
is. Yeah, it's still pretty recent. It's Wall Broder.
He's definitely.
Yeah, I just wanted to. Yeah,
definitely been awesome.
He's outstanding. So I want to bring that up. We got a bit Golden Knights. They got a signing that they made, an extension, I guess. They extend Braden McNabb to a 3-year, $8.55 million total AAV of 2.85. So he's 31. Obviously been on the team for. Was he expansion pick or was he? Yeah, he was the expansion pick. I thought so. So he's one of the few that's still there. From the expansion. Just trying to pull up his stats. I hate sports
old
stats.
McNabb's dope, man.
Yeah, he's dope, man.
Lots for that team.
19 minutes on ice, averaging. Yeah, super good defenseman. He's from Saskatchewan. He's from Davidson. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So love it. Love a Saskatchewan boy making a couple mil per year. So big.
He's the glue on that defense, man.
Yeah,
he's awesome. I think he's so important.
Yeah. I 100% agree. So super good for the Knights to extend him, as everyone on their team seems to be just locked up, seemingly for the future. There's a few guys, but they're really making sure they know who they're keeping for the long run. But do you guys have anything else on the Knights?
Yeah, they literally that same day they signed Mike Amadio to a 2-year extension worth $762K.
Yeah,
and they also signed,
which is
Logan
funny
Thompson
because they claimed Amadio off waivers from the Leafs. And sorry, what was the other name you said again?
Logan Thompson, the goalie.
Logan Thompson, yeah. And he's
3 years worth $766K. So
so that's awesome.
The joke is that Vegas stopped their simulation to do all their contracts at once.
That would make complete sense. No, I agree. Good signings for them, like we said.
Yeah, certainly. Just great depth pieces, and obviously Braden McNabb is certainly
a huge piece for the team. Yeah, absolutely. Moving on to the Vancouver Canucks. A lot of interesting news on them. Let's start with a rookie goaltender, Spencer Martin, as he got his first career win against the Winnipeg Jets. I believe it was a 5-1 thumping by the Canucks. He had a great game. Boudreau was super proud and happy of how he played and everything, which is just nice to see a rookie goalie coming in and get the win, and that big of a win too. 5-1.
Yeah, it's got to be so big on your confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about Patrick Allvin being GM last week, right? I'm pretty sure we did last pod. But more trade news along that.
I think so.
Yeah, we did. I remember now. But more trade news about that. Couple of teams are asking Vancouver about Connor Garland, and they're actually willing to listen. They're really listening on potential of trading away Connor Garland, which I was just blown away by hearing that, because he's been one of their best players this year consistently, even when they were struggling. So, what do you guys think of Garland potentially being on the block?
Yeah, I think that's a weird one, because I remember when they were really struggling, everybody was sharing those pictures of Garland in his mini stick position, putting in the effort while everybody else is just coasting.
Skating between people's legs with his mini stick, sniping Genos.
Yeah.
Like the Enterprise commercial, instead of a small goalie, it's a small forward.
So it's a bit of a weird one for me, because I definitely agree. He's somebody who's put a wicked effort in for the Nucks this season.
Yeah, I the only way, I get why they're doing it for cap space. That's one way, but...
Yeah, or if you get a wicked return.
Yeah, that too. Depending on what direction they want to go, but I was just intrigued by this because if Garland's available, then that means pretty much everyone's got to be except for what, like Batherson, Bess, or Hughes.
It's probably just Batherson and
Hughes.
Hughes, the way that the Bozer talk's been going.
Yeah.
Just because Bozer and Miller are those two guys that seemingly people actually want, so they might trade them because they might get the right haul.
Bozer's the right age to keep is the difference, though.
I fully agree.
If they
with that.
want to, right? Like, it depends on if you want to trade a forward. I'd personally trade Miller just age-wise. He's better, but I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I would also trade Miller and make the team be better.
He's worth so much right now. That's the only reason. Like,
yeah, and
you can get King's ransom.
I'd be packaging him with Myers and
yep.
getting a defense and calling it a day right on the D-man. We'll walk away.
I 100% agree with that.
But yeah, no, I'm real rattled with this. What's going on here? I want to wonder what their notes and what they're going to say for rumors in the future when it gets closer to the deadline. Because I can see Garland being a guy that they trade. Like, you can probably move one of these guys for sure. But yeah, it's definitely strange. Like I said in the other episode, it's a pretty young team. So like in all reality.
Yep.
It's not that big a deal.
It's not that big of a deal, but it's surprising that you just signed Garland. He's actually playing really well for the team, and you want to trade him.
I don't know.
Right? It's just the fastest 180. I know it's a new GM and president, but intrigued because if I'm a team, I'm all over looking to get a Garland for my second, third line. All over for $5 million. Like, that's exactly what you need.
I definitely
fire plug.
I would sacrifice Garland to be able to keep everybody else, though. I think
that's fair.
Now that I kind of look at it,
I also
if that's what you have to sacrifice, like if you have to sacrifice somebody,
if you do, but then again,
back for.
You also look at why don't you just look at Pearson and Pullman and just be like, okay, I'm done. Two depth guys, easily replaceable.
Not as worth it. Not as worth it, not getting the things you want out of a trade and blah,
I think
blah,
Pearson's
Pearson's
a good name to leave the team, though, and if you need Pullman's...
I fully agree, hey.
So, it's just an option.
Up yet there, Pearson? Like, yeah, that guy's...
Next year,
he's got
two
more years after
Two more years after this, yeah. So a team will bite on that. Someone always does.
No doubt.
For something, but if they want it moved...
Tyler Monte's been a guy that a lot of people have been talking about. I don't know if he's... I like him.
He's always... he wants to be a Canuck. He left and then came back because he wasn't playing as good anywhere else. So I think
they love him on their depth.
Yeah, he's really good on the team. I don't see him leaving unless he wants to go to a playoff contender. But even then, it's... Maybe
that Lamiko's been playing pretty damn good, actually.
I wonder if they trade Dickinson, too. That's another guy who's just not fit.
He's been pretty... Poor. He's been all right. Nothing like
poor for
but he
cap,
wasn't really
being in a cap situation, and he's a problem in it. So, but no. Do you guys have anything else on Vancouver before we can move on?
That Lamiko's got 2 giveaways last time I looked. In 35 games.
That's pretty good. That's really good.
Yeah. No, he's been pretty clutch for those guys, actually. Surprisingly for
a depth guy.
This being more or less his first full year.
Yep. Absolutely. Moving on, I got a little bit more Canadian team trade talk as we got the Leafs here. As they have been called about Peter Marazzic, and there's a lot of interest in him. But Dubas did say if he's going to make a goalie decision, it's not going to be made until the off season. So don't be looking at the deadline for a Marazzic trade, but maybe at the draft or after. So
yeah. I certainly think this is going to be a draft with a lot of moves happening.
Yeah, I agree. I think Marazzic probably will get traded unless he has a surge into the second season where he's just too good to get rid of. Just to keep Campbell. I don't think they can afford him with Marazzic. So
from what I'm thinking, I feel like that's what their plan was Toronto's was to, if they were going to make a goaltending move, it was in the off season.
Yeah.
I think it's changing now because people are offering, and maybe they can find a different solution that's cheaper. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's traded, honestly.
I would be. Honestly, I would be shocked if they trade him at the deadline. After, not a chance, but if it's before the deadline, I would be a little surprised. I know you can make stuff work like that, but it's just unless they're doing a big blockbuster, don't see it.
Yeah.
But anyways, moving off of the Leafs, unless you guys have anything else.
Nope.
Over to Philly. I think you brought this up earlier, but I'm just going to reiterate it in case we didn't. The Flyers snapped their 13-game losing streak versus the LA Kings in overtime. I think you brought that up, Jordan, no?
Yep, I did.
Yeah, I thought so. Cool. Moving off them, because we talked about them a lot last pod, let's go to the Florida Panthers. Some good news for Sasha Barkov as he scored his 200th goal and 500th point the other night. Quickly becoming just an insane... quickly becoming an insane player. He already is an insane player, but just 500 points already seems so quick. It's just crazy how creative a player he is. And on the trade side of Florida, we got Owen Tippett is potentially being used as trade bait. Which another name I found very intriguing when they threw it up. Hey,
I don't like that. Like, I know you guys are going for it, but like he can probably
now. Like, I'm wondering because we were talking about Chychrun. He's a first-round pick.
Well, that's why they're flaunting him because they're
I wonder if that's exactly. I wonder if. Go ahead. Yeah, I don't know. Like, is this an option?
That's what I'm saying. Is that like I think?
Why don't you go Tippett? Like
I don't know about.
What if you went Tippett, Denisenko, and a first? That's not that far off.
The old Denisenko.
Something like that. Like there's an options there. So no,
they
I don't
have
know.
a lot of guys to be able to do it. That's for sure. But I'm just surprised.
Oh yeah, I guess for next week.
Yeah. Those might be some names that are a part of it.
Some interesting, so be on the lookout for that. I just want to tease that before. Let's move on to I was going to say Colorado and LA, but we already brought those up. So let's move on to just some other hockey news, actually. I got all the NHL news, so after I get some of this other stuff done, if you guys want to just jump in with any teams I didn't mention, go ahead. To start, Jeremy Carlton is set to replace Claude Julien at the Olympics now because Julien got hurt. I don't know what the injury was or anything, but he's just not able to go, so now Carlton's going. And then two bad things. I hate to end the news on a sour note, but it's news, so we got to talk about it. Jacob Panetta, we talked about him last week. He's suspended for the rest of the season in the ECHL for his racial gesture on Jordan Subban. So that's good, frankly. Like I'm glad he's suspended for the rest of the season because he should be for that. It's not okay. Hopefully he can prove that he's a better person later. And then one other form of bad news too, as former Vancouver Canuck Jake Pertanon was formally charged with sexual assault. If you remember, there's allegations about, when was this, Jordan? A year and a half ago?
Something like
that.
A year and a half ago.
I remember us talking
about
longer,
maybe almost 2 years now.
Yeah, and the investigation is finalized and he was charged. So, obviously, feel
good news for victims involved.
Yeah, the victim. It was one charge of sexual assault for one victim.
Yeah.
So like, not that it's ever, I don't want to say good in this scenario at all. It was one person, not a good thing. I feel awful for that person, obviously, and good thing that Vancouver bought him out when they did.
Yeah, they made the right move.
Anyways, that's all I got for news. Do you guys have any other things throughout the league you want to bring up before we jump into Jordan's injury corner?
No, I just think it's really dumb that they're shopping Tippett.
You go back on that? Absolutely. Anyways, well, I guess that leaves us perfectly to segue into some injuries if you guys got nothing. So
yeah.
Perfect.
Did anybody bring up Bozak playing 800 games?
No, I didn't see that. That's awesome.
Yeah, got number 800, another Saskatchewan boy, I believe.
That's great. It's great. I love that. Love Trevor Zegras. 800 games. Wow.
Yeah, old man.
Anyways,
old man.
Let's jump in to Jordan's injury corner.
So to start with, we have unfortunate Sharks news, Erik Karlsson will be out after having a successful left arm surgery to repair a small muscle tear. Right now, he'll be reevaluated in March, but these kind of injuries vary in their length, so not an accurate timeline yet, but March will know more.
Just piles on to Chase's future watch of Carlson having a great season. Now he's done for... Did you say timeline at all? Sorry.
No.
You said it's complicated, but they didn't list
it's complicated. He'll no more at March. He'll be out at least until March. So.
Erik Karlsson?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, man. It's probably about his ankle then. His
ankle that's been surgery to repair.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's probably hidden because it is his ankle, because they've been just trying to pretend like his ankle hasn't been harboring his play for the last since he got traded.
3 years, 2 years,
yeah.
Teddy Bluger, he'll be out 6 to 8 weeks after fracturing his jaw.
Yeah, that bringing that up too. That hit was pretty questionable. And there was no substantial anything on it. I think he at least been kicked out of the game for it. It was to the head. So if you ever sit Myers out, then that one I definitely think you do.
Yeah. Kevin Lankinen, he'll be out 2 to 3 weeks with a hand injury.
Get Fleury more games before the deadline.
Yeah. Drake Batherson, after his bad injury,
Lundell
information. Yeah, he'll miss at least 2 months with a high ankle sprain.
Bullshit, man.
Yep.
So I'm so annoyed that Lundell did that because it's so unnecessary.
Yeah, what a dickhouse.
What crybaby.
Alex Texier, he'll miss at least 2 weeks with a hand injury.
Hopefully that heals good, because that's his bread and butter right there is his hands.
Yeah, exactly. David Savard, he'll be out till the end of March with a right ankle injury.
Man, Montreal cannot catch a break this year. Like, it was funny at the first half of the season, like, haha, the Habs suck. Like, it's always funny when, like, teams like that everyone loves.
Yeah,
supposed to be better or bad, but, like, this is getting ridiculous. Like, I don't want them to be like
Montreal bar one, so I guess I'll say the one that isn't.
Okay, yeah, go through the one that isn't, then go through them all. We'll talk.
He's currently out week to week with an upper body injury. Not an accurate timeline yet, but
keep going. Might as well get through all the Montreal ones.
All right, Montreal. So I said David Savard. We've got Matthew Perreault. He'll be out till the end of February with a lower body injury.
Jesus.
And finally, Jonathan Drouin is out with a wrist injury, and there is not a timeline yet.
Man, this is ridiculous. Like, that's
that's it for the injuries, but we have an update on Price, as you earlier mentioned.
Sort of brought up.
Yeah. So Price and his goalie coach have both indicated that his knee rehab is progressing.
That's good. Yeah, he did send out a note to the fans saying that it is going well.
The next couple of weeks will be really big and will be a really big tell, but he has said himself, if he has another setback, he will start the process over again and continue.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. So we don't have to worry about Price retiring super early.
Not just yet.
Not yet.
Brendan Gallagher talked about it to the media, and he said he is a warrior unlike any other goalie, and I think that's something
I believe it. He's always been a quiet guy. I wonder what's all been happened.
Well, and he went to rehab for mental health issues that he put to the side to prioritize hockey. This guy has all my respect and more.
Yeah.
This is awesome. This is a quote of Price. Price said, he's hoping to play, obviously, like you're saying. He's like, it's part of my identity.
Yeah.
Like, literally, no doubt.
Awesome.
Montreal at this point is his identity. He loves Montreal, and he has said he has absolutely no plans of leaving, and he was ecstatic that Seattle didn't select him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they called the bluff. I want to see an alternate universe where Seattle took him. I really do. I don't know why.
So crazy.
It would have been so crazy where they take him, Tarasenko.
Yeah, take him literally a day before his surgery.
Yeah, like That'd be fine. I'd be like, yeah, just chill for the year. Like we'll get Drager as well. Still, we'll have Vanacek that year. Trade Vanacek next year when you're healthy. And
well, hey, maybe we're seeing it. It's just because Price hasn't played the whole time. Maybe we're in the same team and you just had Price just not playing right now. That's what would be happening.
Well, exactly. So like that's what I'm saying. Like Seattle's going to be bad anyways. Take a couple different guys, and then next year
we would have got traded back.
They'd have to worry about doing weird stuff there.
Because Montreal would just be able to make so many moves with all this cap space and just create the epic team quick, and then they'll just pay up all of King Midas's gold for half retained price at the
2 years. There's talks about that.
That's what would have happened.
There's some fuzziness there about trading, like where you're not allowed to, but there's probably a loophole where you can do something. But it's interesting for sure.
Yeah, an expansion pick is not a trade, so yeah.
Well, they did say at the expansion.
Oh yeah, right. They did.
They couldn't after the first year, but I don't know if it meant could you retain after 2 years or whatever. I don't know what the deal was with it, but they couldn't retain after 1 year for sure. It might be the whole time though, but I don't know. I have no idea. So, anyways, that's what you got for your injury corner, Jordan.
That's it.
Yeah.
You can open your ears if you're a Montreal fan.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh my god, like I feel for you guys. I feel for Habs.
Yeah, I remember saying like, well, at least there's one positive news here. I think it was like 20, 25 games in or something. Like there's at least some positive news. Price might come back in the next month or so. Edmonton might come back, and like a couple other guys might come back. Everybody's not playing good, so like in all reality, maybe you have a better second half. Yeah, you actually have a team to watch. And it's just been nothing but the next guy getting hurt or COVID nobody plays. You're not even playing. Yeah. And then Michael Pezzetta is your best player for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, I feel for you Habs fans, but it'll get better once you guys get like Shane Wright or something, or like Savoy or
it may look bad, but it's better.
It will get better.
The shittier you do, the better it is.
Yeah. Like maybe you can draft Buffalo, a right-handed D-man this year. Technically,
Buffalo's losing that Eichel trade right now because they are in fifth last, not last.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, that's all we got for the injury corner. Should we move into our final All-Star? I guess not our final All-Star game segment, but our final segment for today and our second last All-Star segment. You guys ready for it? Cool. So what we did, you guys should know, we kind of talked about last podcast. We did a rookie all-star lineup. Chase, did you go through and do a 23-man rookie roster? Or did you?
I did.
You did? Okay. I didn't know if you were going to do that or just a starting lineup. Jordan and I just did a starting lineup. So, Chase,
let's talk about that first.
Yeah, I'm going to throw it to you first. You want to talk starting lineup first? Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Okay, let's start net then. What do you guys got in net? This one I feel is going to be interesting because there's a lot of options.
In all reality, I have Nedeljkovic, but I shouldn't because I technically have him on one of the all-star teams.
Right.
So technically, but he was the extra goalie. So
yeah.
I don't know. So I do have Nedeljkovic. But I feel you, man. I feel bad for the next two guys to not put them up there. I have Kokkonen over Vejmelka just because of his wins. And if you look at Kokkonen's stats right now, it's pretty nasty.
Fair enough. I went Vejmelka because literally this guy came out of nowhere and he's a starting goalie and it's Arizona. You're not going to get the wins. Like, they could have had Carey Price. They're not getting the wins. Right?
The reason I would put him in is basically they look like a different team when he's in the net. They look like they have a spry hope to win.
They do.
And he looks like he has a spry hope to win too. And like you shouldn't. You're playing goalie for Arizona. You shouldn't even play
exactly
like you think you can win.
And that's exactly why I picked him. Like I feel like he needs more credit for what he's done for Arizona. Like in the 1 year, he has been the best goalie they've had since Mike Smith already. It's 40 games in. He's played 30 or something. And he's the best goalie. Well, I guess Kemper was pretty good for a bit, but like, I don't know. Like he's like you said, giving him a chance to win.
I put Kakkonen, but it was definitely between him and Kakkonen.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. And Ville Husso, had he played more games, I probably would have put Husso in.
Jeremy Swayman was another name I looked at too.
Had they not brought in Rask, another name, right? Like, there's a lot of good goalies.
let's be serious about what could happen in the end of the season here. Cam Talbot could play more. Kakinen just could be he could be 10 more games max the rest of the year. Swayman could be the backup goalie for the rest of the year.
Yep, Rask could get hurt, not play.
Vejmelka could keep playing the same amount of games he's playing and get to like a 40, 50,
just below 500 record.
That's pretty impressive. Well, the guy's on Arizona. He's got a 902 save percentage. That's insanely impressive.
Yeah, if he keeps that above 900, then
guy.
Just a couple of goalies. There's so
Stuart
many.
Skinner could always steal the spotlight, man. Like, he's played 12 games at least. Like,
realistically,
Kakinen has only played 16 games. He's only started 14, but he's got 10 wins.
I know he's
922 save percentage.
Another guy I know he's not in the NHL right now, but there's always a chance Spencer Knight comes back to the NHL and lights it up for a couple months.
Yeah, he's been playing some games.
He's here and there, like he's up and down AHL. Yeah. So it's just that's another name.
Luukko-Pekka-Luukkonen with the stats he's getting. Like, if he all of a sudden gets the whole load for some unknown reason, then he could easily just climb right to the starting role. Like, that's what I'm interested about. Is actually
that's why I like about the rookie goalies.
Not who I'm naming right now, but who would I name at the end of the season? You know, because like I couldn't even guess right now. I'm just assuming it's going to be Nedeljkovic because he's that guy. But who cares about that? Like, I want to know who's the next goalie, right?
Absolutely. There's so many.
I want Kapanen or Capo Kakinen to actually play all these games because I think he looks way better than Talbot. I think the team looks better with him in there, man. Like,
I know, that's crazy. I agree. I 100% agree. But should we move on to the defense?
The defense.
What do you got for us, boys?
Can you guess who I got? I got the big man, Mo Seider. I actually went right-handed here, boys. I'm sorry there, boys. I didn't take the man of Faravari. I took Alexander Carrier.
Yeah, I looked at Carrier.
I took two right-handed D-man and put him in there because Carrier plays like PK with Ekholm, and he plays like a ridiculous amount with him. He already plays so many minutes. He's been a beast on that team. Talk about not needing Ryan Ellis because he got Alexander Carrier.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's what I'm going with.
I don't disagree. I went Faravari and Seider.
Me too.
I assumed Jordan. Yeah, I knew Jordan would too. Fairbar's the way you talked about him last, and I looked in like his defensive stats.
No doubt.
Like, he's the best defensive defenseman for a rookie right now. Seider probably is actually,
but like an unbelievable plus minus as well.
Yeah, exactly. And then Mo is Mo. Like, it's Mo Seider.
Mo Seider is the first name there.
First, he's probably, if he's not the first name on this list, he's second or third.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just to give you some comparisons. Faravari a plus 15 right now, and Carrier's a plus 13. Carrier's got 16 points this year, boys.
Yeah, he's really
pretty good. Epic for just some guy averaging 20, almost 21 minutes. He's even got some power play points. He's got 3 power play points. Like, what's going on there? Not that it matters.
He's an offensive
dude, short-handed goal.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And I picked Faravari because he's like 19, 20 minutes a night. So, still good.
They're
still equal.
Solid picks. Definitely, because Faravari plays on the PK too, and been solid.
For sure. Anyways,
solid.
Should we each list our one different forward that we might have with Zegras and Raymond? Because we both know Zegras and Raymond are on this team.
Yeah.
So who's your other player?
Okay, I'm gonna bring up the guy that I was talking about earlier in the episode as. I don't really want to because I want to go not Gene because he's an actual left winger. But I'm going Anton Lundell, dude. Like, this guy's, I almost want to
move
put
Zegras to left wing too, right? Like, he plays both. But
yeah, true that. Hey, one of those guys. You're right. I didn't even think about Zegras going to the wing.
Yeah,
never even thought about it because he has been playing.
Lundell, I will tell you, Lundell was in my top 3. As a center.
As a center.
Lundell made my top 3.
I will give you some. Dude, this guy's like the best in the league for takeaways right now. Like,
he's gonna be the next.
The most takeaways, other than like
or Barkov, I guess.
Some guys that are too ridiculously good.
He's gonna be so much like Barkov. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, top of the league. With at least 25 games played with 3.9, 4 basically takeaways per 60.
Yeah.
He's also second in the league with 243 on the PK per game.
Nice.
So he plays like a shitload on the PK. Almost 4 blocks per 60. He's a plus 16, Anton Lundell. He's got 26 points in 39 games. Like, I'm almost like like, why are we not talking about him instead of Raymond and Zegras? Like, this guy's been amazing. Like, the only reason is because he's playing a lower lineup. Like, he's probably not playing against tough guys like Zegras.
He's on Florida though. I think that's it.
Well,
like,
yeah, that's
they're
also
so good that like
you get lost in the mix because there's so many good players.
I wonder if that's the case, hey?
Yeah. So, but yeah, he's a plus. Actually, yeah, that's funny. He's a plus 20 now. He must have played the game the other day, and now he's a plus 20 with 27 points. Got a point too. Like, what a guy. Yeah, averages 16 and a half minutes. Like, it's not much, but like, dude, this guy is so impressive and important for this Florida team. So I could talk about him for the next 15 minutes, man. Like, that's amazing. Him and like that Lundstrom are really two guys that I like watching, that are just in the weeds on these teams, that they may not get much recognition, but they're probably just as important as like the guys playing like Verhaeghe and Duclair and these guys just being the compliment guys for Barkov and Huberdeau. Like, it's awesome. Love to see that out of a kid, to be the defensive guy you lean on. Pretty madness.
Yeah, it's insane. I love it. Jordan, who do you got? What's your other forward? You made me want to change it to Lundell, honestly. Like,
he's so good.
He almost made me want to change it. But Jordan, what do you got for us?
I've got Michael Bunting.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't like completely disagree at all.
I mean, this is just a guy, like, I'm thinking about these lines too. This is a guy who plays so well with stars. I think he would fit perfectly with these two guys.
Yeah.
See, like, that's why I had not Gene technically, and I just had Lundell as my second center, because if you're making a starting lineup, not Gene, Zegras and Raymond, like, holy shit. And like you said, Bunting's the same type of guy when it comes to Tanner Jeannot, like, same sort of physical aspect and speed that they can bring.
Jeannot just scores more. That's the difference.
And exactly.
No, I like
say that. Funny you say that, because I got Tanner Jeannot.
Hey.
So it's Bunting's good. He's a good scorer. He's but after watching in that Detroit Red Wings game get a hat trick and then also like trip over his own skates and into the boards, I think I'm gonna pick Tanner Jeannot. No, I'm picking Jeannot because he's changed this Nashville offense with just his forechecking. He can score. He forechecks. He plays 15, 16 minutes a night. Like, he's just like
plays on the PK.
Yeah, PK too. Man. Like, he's so
230 on the PK.
So good.
Like, not giving the puck away, getting almost 3 blocks per 60. Like, this guy's deep.
He does everything.
20% shooting percentage. I wonder if that dropped yet. Like, my God,
it's like 18 pretty much. Yeah, it's insane.
It dropped a little bit.
It dropped a little bit. It's at 18%.
3 game-winning goals.
That's what it says here, anyways.
3 game-winning goals.
He is legit. Like, he's just big, strong, and outpowers everyone, and they can score too. Like, I love what he's done and brought to Nashville's offense when nobody's ever done that, seemingly.
No doubt.
But for the most part, pretty similar teams. Like, I thought, like, we got 3 of the same names, at least all of us. Like, Jordan and I have the same defense and such, so a lot of rookie names. But there's so many we still miss. Chase, do you want to continue and rifle off a couple more names for us?
Oh yeah, I'd love to.
Because there's at least 3 I can think of off top of my dome. I'm like, how did I not put him in?
Well, I'm gonna start off with 2 guys that technically don't deserve it, but I think will deserve it later. So they're kind of like not really in my lineup, but I have them as my extra guys, and that's Quentin Byfield and the Peyton of the Krebs.
Yeah,
because by the end of the year, these guys are probably going to be. You're
in the top 10 of scoring, probably, or top 15. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Caulfield last year, right?
Yeah,
Caulfield last season. So no
doubt. So other than those 2 guys, the actual guys in my starting lineup, I got Cole Sillinger.
Yep, that's a big
Dawson.
one.
Yeah, he's been
These next
fantastic.
2 names are the 2 biggest names I had that were close to Lundell and Janot.
Yeah, exactly.
For me.
Do you know what the differential is for Columbus? Do you have that close? Because the
Goal differential?
old, yeah, for
I do
Columbus.
actually. Differential for Columbus is, where is it? Right there. -19.
-9. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They let in a lot of goals lately.
That's pretty good. I didn't think they'd be that.
Oh, you thought they'd be worse?
Yeah, I thought they would be a little bit worse. Honestly.
No, they're pretty good. No. They're pretty, because they score a lot. They also score. Like, remember what I was saying at the start of the podcast? They either lose the game by 6 goals or score 6 goals, seemingly, in Columbus. So I think that's a big reason.
Yeah, nothing super impressive.
Scoring a lot.
Nothing super impressive out of Sillinger, getting a point every second game. Not even only playing like 13 and a half. It's just,
he's 18 and was 14th, 15th, 16th overall, whatever it was. Like, I always forget.
11th, I want to say, or
something stupid.
One of those, but 48% face-off percentage is actually almost 49.
That's not bad for an 18-year-old. That's really good. Man. Yeah, that's his dad was a NHL player too, a really good one. So that probably helps. Get lots of training and from him at a younger age. Learned how to do
he's awesome.
He's going to be amazing for this team.
He is going to be their big two-way guy, real big.
Kent Johnson will be their offensive guy, and he's going to be their shutdown.
12th in rookies right now in even strength time on ice.
For sure.
If that means anything to you. Who else do we got? Dawson Mercers in there, obviously.
Yeah, another one.
He's just a complete beauty. He's 4th in the league in total ice time for rookie forwards.
He's just one of those few players that just instantly made an impact of a new legs. Like,
and that impacts on 2 minutes on the power play per game. So that's impressive stuff for him. What else do I got for the Mercer? 6th in rookie forwards and points, 22 points, so point every other game. Staying close to an even. He's -5, so decent enough. Next guy I can bring up. Let's go to Alex Newhook.
Yeah. Slow start, but
nothing so impressive. But I like how he's just kind of settled in and brought his own game and really has done as much as he can. Like, it's only 13 and a half minutes a game, so you can't expect too much. He's getting his power play time, and he's producing on the power play. He's got 4 points, 3 power play goals. The old Newhook, so good on him. It just looks good. I see him getting better as the year goes on, which is why it's easy to put him in.
For sure.
Seth Jarvis.
Yeah, man. He's legit, too.
He's
fast. Gonna be a scorer. Like,
he's the same situation as I'm talking with Newhook.
Yeah,
these guys are in the exact same situation.
Hanging out. Just one in the East, one's in the West. Like, that's the difference.
Hanging out, doing basically the exact same thing. Like the same power play, 125 power play. Like, they're the same guy on different teams. Literally +8 Seth Jarvis, Newhook +7. Seth Jarvis 18 points and Newhook 16. So it's funny in that sort of sense. Next guy I'll bring up is Jonathan Darlin off of San Jose Sharks. Like, he's probably something I should have brought up before Newhook and Jarvis, just because of his impact on that team this year. It was something I brought up early in the year that I thought him and Balzers could really bring a lot to this team and create a balance for this team to not be shitty. And Barabano's been the other guy instead of
like
Balzer. Not that Balzer hasn't been like unreal, but he's having those other extra guys helping out is always nice. But Darlin, 8th in the forwards and time on ice, 20 points, 40 games, playing 15 minutes, boys. That's a decent amount of minutes for a kid.
Absolutely.
Though I think he's like 22 or something. He's not exactly so young. Arthur Caliev was a guy as well that I felt I had to put in just based off his goal scoring. I think he's he deserves it.
7 goals is pretty decent. Yep.
He looks good out there, and yeah, I don't know. It's not one that I love too much. In all reality, you could probably put Krebs or Byfield in there and leave Caliev out. I just thought I'd pump him up a little bit
for recency bias. He's actually proving he can score. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, playing in the league, 45 games. Like the guys, I think he's played all games. So good for him.
Absolutely.
Wow. Yeah, right. The power play. That was the other thing. Sorry. 6 power play points. Caliev, 3 goals. So. Hell yeah. You guys said Michael Bunting.
Yeah.
That's an obvious. He's third in the league in forwards and points with 27 and 40, playing 15 minutes. That's huge. We all know what he's doing. Philip Tomasino is my last forward.
Interesting.
Boys. Yeah, Philip Tomasino. He's chilling right there with
I'd pick.
I don't know if Boldy's going to keep playing. I didn't put him in because he hasn't been
my thing is
a lot this season, but 9 points.
That's why, and 16 to 17 minutes. That's like a lot of minutes for a young guy just coming in. I like that. He's been so good for them. So I personally throw in Boldy, but yeah, Tomasino's there.
I really hope I can put him in at the end of the year. Is kind of what I was thinking with him. That's fair. But yeah, Tomasino, 39 games, 15 points, so a point every other game. Not playing too many minutes, but another guy that's getting it done on the power play.
For sure.
So yeah, 3 goals, 6 assists on the power play. Another guy that's just really helped Nashville become a little bit more dangerous in their depth instead of Dale.
Well, he's been better. He's been better than what's his name, who we thought was supposed to be great this year, Tolvanen. So
yeah, they've really Tolvanen hasn't taken that next step. He shows up every once in a while.
Here and there he will, but not as much as
it's not this year. It's not.
Tomasino's been better for sure.
Mm-hmm. If anything, maybe look for one of these guys to blow up in the playoffs or something, because it's just not going to happen this year for Tolvanen. He's been, like I said, hit and miss.
Yeah, exactly. What do you got for the defense?
The defense is just stacked, man.
So we got the obvious first 3 of Mo,
Carrier,
and
Favre.
So what do you got for the rest of it? What are your other 4?
Jamie, Mr. Drysdale, obviously, and they're playing almost 20 minutes a game.
That's insane.
Yeah.
19 minutes, 20 points as well. He doesn't have the plus minus, but I'm a little annoyed because I picked him to be my Calder Trophy winner at the start of the year. And I was like, I think Anaheim's sneaky good. I think they might be sneaky good this year. And they were. But Drysdale's the only one who isn't in the race.
Yeah, hey, and technically he is.
And he still should be there. He's great.
Yeah, Shattenkirk really stealing all the points seemingly when it comes down to it. Hey,
big time.
But that's just because Shattenkirk's been doing this forever and Drysdale hasn't.
So, that's fair.
2 minutes on the power play for Drysdale though, so they're giving him the time. He's getting better. Like I said, he's got 6 assists at least here.
Yeah.
Oh my
16 assists. You said. You mean?
6 power play assists.
Oh, 6 power play assists. Sorry, I
16
thought you were saying 16
real assists.
Real assists. I thought that's what you're going with. My bad.
Yeah. No. Other than that, he's been decent. We all know he's been stepping up inflated minutes because of some injuries here and there, but mainly they've been pretty healthy, so that's super good on him to get 20 minutes almost.
Absolutely.
Let's go to a guy.
Your favorite LA King?
Yeah, buddy. Shawnee Dursey. Looking like a beaut.
He's so good.
Only played 28 games, so this is one of the guys that has impressed me enough to
13,
give him the nod, even though he
17, 18 minutes, man. 13 points.
Yeah, it looks like it's not much, but it's he's been playing 20 minutes sometimes. I think there was a game against Washington. He played 30 minutes.
Yeah,
it was insane.
That is insane.
So that's cool. That was probably when Doughty wasn't around or something, but any hoot nanny and a hoedown, he has been on the power play for how much time has it been? 205, so just as much as Drysdale. He plays even a minute on the PK. This guy's so useful all the time. Like you said, half of a point per game, and he's only at 28 games. Yeah, all I see is positivity for this guy. He's a +2 on this team, 7 power play points. He's even got a goal too, which there's Mo Sider has a power play goal, Dursey has a power play goal, Byram has a power play goal, Kyle Capobianco has a power play goal, Niles Lundqvist has a power play goal, and Jans Moser, that random guy on Arizona.
Yeah, that's Moser.
Like, those are the guys on defense that have power play goals as rookies. Close to impossible to get as a young guy. So, yeah, love everything about him. Now, the last guy was the hardest thing to do. And I almost want to just project it now because of some of the guys that are actually up here. I wonder if Euro Vakanainen's going to play the rest of the year and stuff like that. He'd be a guy I'd put in. Cam York even. What about Lassie Thompson?
Like, I was just about to throw his name out there. He's played 18 minutes in 15 games. He's been real good with Shabbat.
Yeah, man. I really like Lassie when I remember watching him. I have
another D-man in there, and this is more of a defensive role one, but Jacob Middleton is having a really good season.
You named it. That's
the guy? Okay.
That's my
I was wondering if you were going to that because he's defensively outstanding this year.
I didn't want to say it simply because I want to put my boy Dyson Mayo in there, but I think you're right. I think Middleton's
it's Middleton, unfortunately.
More impressive.
+7, 18 minutes a night on a San Jose team that gets scored on a lot. Like, there's not many defense you can say a lot of good things about, but it's him and Ferraro. Are defensively are the best. Like,
and I feel bad because Mayo plays almost 21 minutes a game and 3 minutes shorthanded. He's like in the top 5 of shorthanded minutes this year.
Yeah, I agree
Mayo
with
on
that
Arizona.
Too. So who's your extra? In all reality,
wait, who's your? Mayo is my extra.
Mayo's
I have
extra?
Dyson Mayo as my extra because I put Middleton in just because of how. Like, kind of the things you're saying and stuff like that. And in only 28 games, like, he's actually put up points, too. Like, it's kind of...
Yeah, I understand the Mayo. It's the whole, like, Vishmelka question. Like, he's on a bad team. He's playing good on a bad team. Do you...
Yeah.
How much do you think
Mayo's been playing with Ghost of Spare, so...
Yeah.
If you can play with somebody that liable on defense...
Yeah, that's fair.
I thought it was pretty impressive. But I'm sure Middleton plays with Carlson, so let's not...
I think it's to each their own, and honestly, there might be a guy ahead that we could take out if we're making a real team to try and compete. I'm taking out a different offensive D-man for both of them. Like,
right?
You
probably would.
Like, you're instantly looking at like, well, do I need a Dursey if I have Drysdale?
Yeah, do you need Dursey or Drysdale? Like, you could probably just go with Mayo or something instead, or even who's that other fucking
exactly? There's a lot of guys.
Guy. What about Liljegren? Like, what does Liljegren turn into as time goes on?
Technically, he's a rookie this year, I think. Pretty sure he's still. But yeah, no, that's true. Liljegren's been really good this year. It's another good show.
Like I said with earlier with Euro Vakanainen, he plays 2.5 minutes shorthanded and 20 minutes per game.
If it's
so consistent, he's really found himself. It's only 12 games, but like,
if he does that for. Crazy enough, he does that for another 10 games. I put him in instantly, but like, it's not that far off. It's like we're 2 weeks early on him. So definitely keep an eye out. But yeah, there's some awesome rookies. Like you said.
Yeah, this is a mint team. I love this. This is cool as shit, man.
It is cool. I would love to see this team go up against like second year sophomore. Yo, what if we did like a sophomore team next week and we like compared them together? That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
a second year team,
like a sophomore or like a second, third year team.
I was thinking just a sophomore and just pit them against because we got the under 24 team coming, right? So we'll figure it out. We'll do something cool. We'll talk about it off pod.
Hell yeah.
But anyways, do you guys have anything else on it before I can close out this podcast? On your rookie teams and any players that didn't mention that you guys want to throw out there to maybe watch? Jordan?
Connor McMichael.
Yeah, of course, he's been real good. There's actually quite a few guys. Like, another guy like who's technically a rookie we should be like looking for eventually if they can get healthy is Caulfield. Like, he's still a insane goal scorer. If he can find some consistency, then I don't see why he couldn't jump up and maybe be the next. But
I'll just clarify some stats on Mayo. So that 317 on the PK is third among defensemen in the NHL.
Like, and that's not even just rookies.
That's not rookies, exactly. And he gets like 5.5 blocks per 60, which is a lot higher than a lot of defensemen. Yeah, John Carlson gets 3. That compares to Adam Larson.
Yep.
At 5.5. So maybe that's the type of guy we're looking at. Him
Mayo
becoming
being like Larson.
Yeah, like a Larson.
He is left-handed though, right? He's right-handed. Mayo's right-handed, right?
Yeah, Mayo's right-handed, buddy. Why do you think I'm talking him up so much? But
okay,
let's go.
Can I change my pick to Mayo instead of Middleton? Because I think I was looking at that Moser guy instead.
Oh yeah, who is this guy? Hey,
I don't know. He's just like sweet. He's sweet though.
Who is this guy?
He plays really good stats and looks really good. So I don't know.
I have actually one thing I want to spit out before the end. It's a little bit of trade bait in a sense. Some stats for some players that I would think maybe some trade bait. Cool. We'll start in Arizona because that's the main trade bait place. Anton Strawman, he's been playing 20-42 per game this year. Nice. Only 9 giveaways. Which is obviously pretty good. It's under a 1 per 60 or whatever.
What's his cap hit?
I think it's like 5.5.
That's the only issue. I know you can retain, but
yeah, no, definitely. 3.4 blocks per 60, 2.5 hits. Like guys out there, he's not doing too bad. He had a pretty rough other year, which is kind of why I wanted to bring him up. I think he looks a lot better, and
I like Strawman.
Tradable and a good piece for depth. Like if somebody needs could Colorado snag him somehow just because like him and what's his name Johnson as your 2 right-handed penalty killing team, that sounds like a pretty good time.
Just don't know if the cap could work unless an injury happens.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, next guy on zone is the Lawson Crouse, the big ticket name if they go after him or if they let him go, that's for sure. 18 minutes he plays.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, no doubt. 18 minutes he plays a game, 9.8 hits per 60. So basically 10 hits per 60. What is that? Like 20, basically is almost playing 20 minutes. So it's like 3 hits basically a game. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
2 blocks per 60, gives you 1.5 steals, like under a giveaway per 60. So clean hockey player, this guy is what I'm trying to get at.
Absolutely.
Getting stats in all aspects. And then we'll go to a guy we brought up and traded to the Maple Leafs. And we did that Marner thing. Mr. Miller. Colin Miller plays 19.5 minutes, so 32 games. He gets 4 hits per 60.
I think he's a like top 3 players that'll be traded, I think. If Buffalo's smart. He should be the name traded the second after Ben Sherratt's traded.
He's too useful to all these playoffs.
Yeah, he is. You know? And you need to like Buffalo's not making playoffs. Like we already know that. Get a prospect again or a pick. Like get something. Like keep building. You're still building.
And I'll stress how important he is. Like he's almost at 4 blocks per 60, which is a decent clip. He's at 4 hits per 60. He's under a giveaway per 60 with only 10 on the year. Like those are lovely stats. Those are safety, man, that you need on your team. So those are just my 3 little trade bait stats. Like these guys are playing good, and I think they can really bring something to these teams. Obviously, like with Crouse, like we've said it before, we don't really want him to go anymore. No, probably not a good idea.
I don't think they want him to go.
I don't think they should, right?
No doubt, no doubt.
No, that's awesome. Oh, I'm gonna piggyback on that. I got 2 things. I got a free agent and I got a trade name to listen about. Let's start with the trade, and I got Claude Giroux. I'm hearing Claude Giroux to Colorado. If the money can work, Colorado wants to do it desperately. They really want a right-handed player who can play center, and he'd be amazing. So if they can, ridiculous. So that's the thing. If they can make the money work, 90% chance of happening unless the team swoops in. That's the one. I also have free agent news. I have a little bit of free agent news as there's an undrafted free agent goalie named Matt Guzda, who is a goalie for the Owen Sound Storm for the Barrie Colts, not Owen Sound.
Best goalie on earth, apparently.
Yeah, 21 years old. I'll tell you his stats right now. He has recorded a .935 save percentage, and a 1.89 goals against average in 13 games, and he's 6'5". So
wow,
and he's only 21. It just makes sense. Just a lot of teams in the mix. I want to throw them out there. We got the Toronto Maple Leafs are heavily interested. Anaheim Ducks, Carolina Hurricanes, Nashville Predators, New York Islanders, New York Rangers, and the Pittsburgh Penguins. So just a couple teams.
Yeah, I hate goalie stats. It's so fucking ridiculous.
It's insane.
Yeah,
but
Ukko Luukkonen was an 8.8 save percentage when he was in the AHL this year. And guess what? He's a 9.17 save percentage and a 2.74 goals against. Like,
absolutely. It's weird for sure.
I hate putting that much weight on it, but it's cool that there's just some goalie just.
It's a goalie prospect, right?
That's what you need.
And and it's a free player out there. Like it's a sweepstake that we don't get to see that often, so it's just interesting when it does. So I want to bring those two things up.
There's one more trade bait guy I guess I had stats on. Owen Tippett, since he's now on the blockage, playing almost 13 minutes per game. That guy likes to throw the body, 6 hits per 60, 1.5 blocks per 60, 3 takeaways per 60. Wow, that's pretty good. So tenacious player. We know him quite well. Like I like him as
he's a decent player.
Hornquist-y sort of player. So like I said, I don't understand why they would trade him. Like I understand you have Hornquist, but
to win today, that's why.
I feel like Tippett
they're going
just as much
for
as
it.
Hornquist can. So, but he doesn't because Hornquist has been there for 15 years.
It's the experience, right? Hornquist has scored a Stanley Cup winning goal. Like
I'm just so sad that he might not be a Florida Panther.
I agree.
Honestly.
I agree, but it's not done until it's done. So, but
you know what?
Anyways, that's it for this week's podcast. Tune in next week as we got a cool segment coming in, trade segment, if you guys enjoy that. But for now, go follow us on our social medias on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at The Couch on Ice. Eventually, we're going to post more on YouTube. We have been posting a lot more on Twitter. Chase has some amazing hockey cards of Adam Fox. If you don't go check them out, that's an insult to us on the podcast. You have to go check these out. They are so funny. You will not regret it, especially if you're an Austin Powers fan. So I will leave it at that. You guys have a good week. We'll catch you guys on Friday.
Peace.